So right now they have a bunch of different scents, exfoliants that are available that are specifically Halloween themed. I don't remember what they were. You'll have to look them up. I think one of the scents was like pomegranate, because that's kind of like the fruit of the underworld, that sort of thing. So they really went into the Halloween theme while still providing services. So you can still pivot. It doesn't have to be a product. That's my
I'm
point.
laughing because
What?
in one discussion you taught me about allergies and the fruit of the underworld, because I did not know pomegranate was
You
the
didn't
fruit
know
of the
that?
underworld. No.
Hey everyone, welcome to the S.O.B Marketing Podcast, where we celebrate the S.O.B that you are, and if you haven't figured it out yet, we mean small-owned business. We don't mean S.O.B.
Listen, we know that as a small business owner, you are working hard on the daily to keep your business fully operational while trying to promote it. And while some days it may feel like the business is owning you, if we're being honest with each other, I bet you would admit that you wouldn't give up the insanity for anything.
Our commitment here at the S.O.B Marketing Podcast is to give you the real talk, what works when it comes to advertising, marketing, promoting your business, and then what doesn't really work.
And Chelsea and I promise to always keep the conversation real.
Hello, Vivian. Welcome to our Halloween episode. Some of us were a little more excited about this episode than others, it looks like.
I mean, you look very Halloween-ish, but I'm going to be
Thank
real
you.
honest with you, Chelsea. That looks like your regular garb anyway. So I don't know what's different. You always wear black and chokers and have your hair done up really nice with a wingtip eyeliner. So
I guess that's fair. You know what? Good point.
Wednesday Addams inspired.
Well, this episode doesn't come out on Halloween. If anything, this is like the beginning of October. But we are doing specifically Halloween marketing because we want to give you time to consider all of your options so that you can have a game plan when it comes time to Halloween.
Yeah, and y'all remember this. This is very important when it comes to these holidays that are coming up, whether it's Black Friday or, Christmas, whatever
Small
it
Business
is.
Saturday.
Small Business Saturday. Pre-planning is where it's at. Like, that's what you need to be doing in order to be sure that you're launching and really taking full advantage of some of these marketing things that you can be doing for seasons like Halloween or fall or whatever it is. The success of your campaign is going to be directly correlated to how much time and effort you put into pre-planning so that everybody knows what's going on and you're able to push that communication out, which is most important.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure as a small business owner, you can think of times where you came up with a brilliant idea, but you came up with it just a little bit too late so you couldn't execute it perfectly. That's why we're saying start thinking about it now so that you can be prepared when the time comes.
I think that's happened to every small business owner and marketer out there. I'm including all my marketing professionals because there has always been a time where I guarantee you at some point you're like, oh, now I have to wait 365 days to execute on this thing. Like, had I just planned it a little better, we could have really gotten a lot of juice out of this. And instead now you're having to wait another full calendar year for it to come up next year.
I mean, this kind of happened to us with, I don't want to give anything away, but we were going to do a Halloween event, but we waited till the last minute. And once we came up with a brilliant idea is when we found out we couldn't do it. So next year though.
Well, and in our defense, I am going to say, they overbooked. So it was for an event that we were going to do. It was not anything that we were doing. I mean, we were planning ahead. So not our fault the organization overbooked, but that's okay. We're not going to be salty about it. We're just going to move along and, concentrate on efforts on other stuff. So you got to be flexible when it comes to marketing, if anything else.
Yeah. Key takeaway right there. Be flexible. I just want to preface this conversation by saying, some people are not into Halloween. I don't get it, but you're entitled to your wrong opinion. But focusing on fall is a great alternative to Halloween. So if you don't want to do any of these like Halloween eccentric ideas that we're going to go through today, just change it to fall. It's a very easy, pumpkins and stuff like that instead of skeletons.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
There you go. If you don't want to do Halloween, just switch it up a little bit. But these are still ideas that you can use.
Yeah, I think the important part is to take the overall concept, right, and apply it to whatever upcoming holiday seasons coming up. And if anything, it's a good reminder to just some of these may be a little creative and you guys haven't done these yet. And so if anything, it's a good time to just know that outside of the traditional marketing stuff that you're thinking about with ads and digital ads, there's a whole lot more that you can do that's a little more grassroots when it comes to the holiday season.
Okay, to start the conversation, I just want to say, you don't have to do promotions if you don't feel like doing any promotions or anything. You could just decorate. Just decorate if you have an actual brick and mortar store, and you don't have to spend a lot when it comes to decorating either. I get all of my Halloween decorations from the dollar store or Dollar Tree. They're always really cheap. I mean, nothing's $1 anymore, but it's like $1.25.
That's true.
Yeah, I love the Dollar Tree when it comes to decorations, especially Halloween decorations, which Tim calls our normal year-round decor, which okay.
I mean, you do have like skeletons and skulls and stuff around your house, so not real skulls, y'all. They're not real skeletons. These are all decorative pieces. I don't want people getting the wrong idea.
Also, I don't have any skeletons. I just have skulls.
Okay.
I have bats on. I have a wall with a bunch of photos of like family photos, which, interesting enough, in all of those photos, I'm in all of those photos. But that's not the point. Anyways, I put bats. I put little like bats on the wall too last Halloween, and I just never took them down because I thought they were cute. So
I'm going to call it your wall of Chelsea. Yeah, so you're right. The thing is, decorating is a really simple way to do this. Now, I also want to lean into that by saying this. These are really easy opportunities because, y'all, we live in the digital age where everyone and their mama wants to take selfies and they want to do a photo op or a photo shoot wherever they go. If you guys have any storefront windows that you can actually design stuff on or make it festive, make it look really creative, guarantee you people are going to want to take photos in front of it. And that's free publicity for you because most of the time they will tag the business as well. Yeah. Now, if you don't have a window display that you could take advantage of in this sort of way, the other thing you can do is sometimes for a nominal fee, you can go onto like Amazon and these stores and buy these walls that you can put up inside your storefront or inside your store that are not going to take up too much space. And then you could decorate that, giving it this place where people can stand in front of and kind of take these selfies. You see this a lot right now with like restaurants who do like a wall of flowers, or they'll do, something that looks like grass, and then they have like a neon sign that says something cute, right?
An accent wall.
Yes, thank you. So accent walls are great for this reason. So to Chelsea's point, if anything at all, the lowest hanging fruit, you can actually decorate your store. Consider maybe doing an accent wall or a fun window display or graffiti art on the side of your, whatever it is, building. If you own your building, not if you're a tenant. If you're a tenant, please ask your landlord if you're allowed to do this. But anything to provide a photo op is good.
And, you can go ahead and maybe make a little tiny sign that says create a hashtag so that people can use your hashtag, or have a little sign that says, hey, take a photo and tag us in it. So another way to step it up, usually people will end up tagging you, but if there's a reminder, that also helps making sure people actually do.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Oh, really quick, I do want to shout out this small business because, we're all about small businesses here. So I got this really cute Halloween mug, cup. I don't know.
It's not a mug.
What would you call? Look, okay, I got a drinking device. It says stab on it. It's got little, yeah, it's cool. It's not your average babe on Instagram. That's where I found them. She has some really cute stuff. I love this.
I'm
I
a
just
little
wanted to
concerned
shout
that
them
you
out.
called it a device because I always think of device kind of like a little trap or something that's going to like get you. So I don't know.
I was thinking of something.
Drinkware.
Oh, you know what?
Drinkware.
Okay, fine. Drinkware, whatever. It's cute. It was not that expensive. I don't remember, but it wasn't that expensive, and it was totally worth it. I really love it.
And not that
Just
you can
wanted to say
drink
that.
iced coffee because you're not into coffee, but like that looks like a
Yeah.
perfect little
Mm-hmm.
drinkware for drinkware, a cup for coffee, iced coffee, water, whatever it is. That's cute.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't drink coffee personally, but probably just for my
Awesome.
water. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we love
okay.
to shout out S.O.Bs.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for. Going ahead with topic Halloween tactics, just another really simple one, verbiage. So the language that you use when you're making post or making a sign in your store, stuff like that, really good examples that I have written down are avoid the Sunday scaries. So like maybe you're a restaurant that wants people to order takeout, or skin so dry it's scary. So maybe you're a skincare company or a salon, something like that. The point is to use Halloween and using a fun Halloween hook to draw people in, and then going in and explaining your product or your service and why it's worth it.
Yeah, and you can get really creative, I think, with especially now in the age of like reels and stuff. You could probably, because we all know when Halloween comes up here in a couple weeks, we're going to see some pretty dope reels with people, I'm sure, dressed up, dancing, doing whatever. But you can easily, like Chelsea said, modify these into creating a reel that uses some of that verbiage that's a little Halloween-ish. And so that way you're tying it in around that season, but still correlate it back to your business, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what you're looking to do, is driving more awareness to your product and service or service. The other place that they can use this outside of just social media is if you are doing weekly emails, monthly emails, perhaps you focus your October one on something Halloween related. So two ways to do this is either, like Chelsea said, you kind of wrap the promotion or the email into some of that language or verbiage, or you can actually find a way for your small business to be relevant during that Halloween season. And what I say by this is kind of wild, but let me give you an example.
Okay.
Back when I was working at an urgent care center, we had this like scare for like a year or two where people were putting stuff in candies. Do you remember this? Like needles?
No, I thought that was a myth.
No. Like parents were actually concerned about there being stuff mixed in with the candy, right? And so what we did is we actually said, if you bring your candy, we will x-ray it.
You know what? I love that. I love that. That's such a good idea.
Well, and so that was healthcare. It was something, the thing is finding opportunity with what's going on that's relevant, and then finding a way for your business to be applicable to that or kind of be relevant to it. The thing is, like, it was at the time something that was legit scary for a lot of people. And it was around that Halloween season that, the docs thought it would be a good idea to kind of make that offer. Now, did as many parents take us up on it? I don't think so. I don't think it was as huge as they thought it was going to be. But I will say we were able to kind of wrap an initiative around that. So,
yeah. I didn't know that. I thought that's always been like a myth.
I mean, parents were scared.
Okay. When was this?
I mean, this had to be, I've been At this other company, 12 years. So that had to be around like 15, 16 years ago. It was a long time ago.
How old was I? 10. Okay. I wasn't paying attention.
I mean, you were too busy taking your pillowcase out there to get Halloween candy.
Yeah,
so,
probably I didn't. You know, that explains so much why I pricked my finger going in my bag. No, not a funny joke. Never mind. I'm sorry.
People were really worried about it. So I think that's so the other part is you could probably do this across other industries. You know, I'm trying to think of something that maybe, I don't know, if something that'd be kind of funny would be if you're a security system and, you know, you want to roll out a campaign that has something to do with, you know, preventing people from like messing with your Halloween decorations in your house.
I thought you were going to say people TPing your house. Do people still do that?
Yes, because when I was in Winder, Georgia with Lydia, we drove past a house on a main street, main street in a country road,
Okay.
Completely TP'd. Like, I had not seen this in so long, and I saw it this year. I was like, what? I was like, oh, those people are going to be so pissed when they wake up. So, yes, it still happens.
Okay.
Probably out more in the country than anywhere else.
Well, the point was using the time. What were we talking about? Verbiage. We were talking about verbiage. Yes. Love it. Okay. So my next one, something we say all the time, and I'm sure people are so tired of hearing it. Be a part of the community. What that means in this scenario, because I want to explain it a little bit. Do you know?
Yeah, this could be misunderstood on so many different levels.
Yes. So let me explain. Do you know how many trunk or treat events there are?
A shit ton of them.
It's insane. There's always a different one. My point is you could easily do a trunk or treat, or maybe a lot of small towns, I know they do like trick or treat down Main Street, where all of the businesses in that downtown area offer candy and trick or treat on Halloween. There are so many events when it comes to Halloween. I mean, okay, so we're saying trick or treat, stuff like that. There's corn mazes, there's haunted houses. There are so many different opportunities for you to volunteer, to sponsor, to just be a part of your local community. And again, that's always going to be such a great way to get your name out there and to show your community that you're there.
Yeah, and a perfect example of this is here in Summerville, South Carolina. We actually have this really cool thing where we have a cute downtown area that they've built out over the years, and it's called Hutchinson Square. And they have a lot of the events. There's parking, there's all that stuff. And so what they try to do is keep a lot of this very family oriented. So what happens is they will block off that main street, and well, they actually don't even need to block it off because of the way they have it positioned, but they'll parcel out parts of that main street and then allow small businesses to come in and buy a small parcel of it during Halloween, and then they get to put up scarecrows. So they call it scarecrows on the square. And so that is probably, for one, it's very affordable. Any business could do it. And then number two, what it does is because it's become such a tradition over the years and people are going there, you know you're going to get eyeballs. If you put up your scarecrows, your display, whatever it is, you somehow, you know, put a yard sign or whatever for your business, you're able to promote your business in front of all of these people that typically they may not see you, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a really great opportunity, like Chelsea's saying, and especially these trunk or treats. I did one last year for a local elementary school. Let me tell you how many little kids came out there, and more importantly, let me tell you how many parents came out there. Okay.
Yep.
And same thing.
Well, I hope a lot of parents with children.
Clearly, I do not have kids because I think kids can go places by themselves at like age 4. Okay. But so that's what, you know, that's the thing is then you're able to also don't be handing out brochures if it's something that the organization doesn't want you to do, but there are ways for you to incorporate. You could put stickers on the candy. You can do whatever else to have it correlate back to your business.
Yes, that's a great point too. If you're going to do a trunk or treat, probably don't give children brochures. They don't care. They don't want that. Give them candy.
I'll tell you what we did do that worked really well is I found that children absolutely go bonkers over these cups that change colors when it's cold, right? When they put cold water or milk or something, they'll change colors. And so we got color changing cups and then we put candies in it. And so then we were able to hand them. It had, the cups had our logo on it. The kids loved it. We ran out of them. So, you're able to kind of assemble these ahead of time and take boxes. So that way, you can sneak in there. And like this year we had erasers with our logos on it. That would have been something I probably would have tried putting in there if we were doing a trunk or treat this year. Right. So just kind of giving them any extra stuff with our logo and phone number on it.
Yeah. I love that idea. But so going ahead, trying to be a part of events in your local community, even if you don't end up finding an event to do, maybe just the day of, hand out candy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe, okay. So if you're like an adult sex shop, obviously you're not going to have children. So like if you're, just listen, if you're a small business and there's not children around, then like, you can still hand out candy. But my point was, you're still going to run into a child most likely. So having candy the day of is going to be nice.
Yeah. And some parents too, I will say, I think I've seen a small shift in like for some of these downtown areas, some parents will actually take their children into downtown areas at local businesses because they would rather do that than just go into a neighborhood that they're unfamiliar with, house to house. So I have seen some of that. I think in the community thing, the other part of it is it gives you an opportunity, like Chelsea said, if there is an event that, let's say you love doing haunted houses or something like that, and you want to sponsor it, they'll likely put a banner or, a yard sign that says sponsored by and then has your logo. But then the other part of it too is it gives you the opportunity to really blast that on all your social media platforms as well. And so that way people are seeing that you're a business that is engaged and is willing to invest time into the community.
Absolutely. Yes. And I think that's something that I do want to talk about. Whatever you end up doing, it's important to actually share it with people, especially if it's going to be a limited time, something that's limited, a limited amount of time that's being offered, or maybe if you're doing an event or something, people won't know unless you tell them. And I know we say it a lot. You might feel like a broken record, but you have to repeat these things because not everyone's going to see your message the first time around. So don't be afraid to really just keep lasting about whatever event that you're doing.
Yeah. And if you have an email list that you're sending people, it's good to include upcoming events or any fun things that you're doing during these seasons that you want to promote. Chelsea, like Chelsea said, y'all, it's true. We get communication fatigue because we write it every day, all day. We talk about it ad nauseum. You just kind of feel like you're always pushing it. But people are so bombarded with other communication during the day that they likely are not hearing all 10 times that you're sharing this stuff, right? Maybe they're just catching it once and they need another reminder. How many times have you heard people say, oh, I meant to go out there and do X, Y, and Z, and I just forgot about it?
Yep. Exactly.
Do you love making crafts and working on your small business but struggle to get them in front of customers?
Do craft fairs, events, or pop-ups leave you feeling overwhelmed or frustrated?
Introducing Rock Your Fair, the course designed to help you succeed in the world of craft fairs, pop-ups, and events, created by 2 marketing professionals with over 15 years of experience. Rock Your Fair is perfect for anyone who's new to the game or just wants to step up their game.
Our step-by-step approach approach will guide you through everything you need to know, from choosing the right events, to setting up your booth, to marketing your products effectively.
And you know what? You'll also get access to us for personalized coaching and feedback so you can put your best foot forward.
Do not let craft fairs, pop-ups, and events hold you back. Sign up for Rock Your Fair today and start rocking your way to success.
For a limited time, get access to our free mini course. Simply head over to our website at www.theseasonmarketer.com and click on workshops.
Another really easy way to draw some attention while also not doing anything crazy, just allowing your staff to dress up on Halloween. This is one of my favorite things when small businesses do this, because it's such a cute way to have your staff engage with your audience. Of course, you want to make sure everyone's wearing things that are appropriate, but just set guidelines.
Yeah. I was watching a clip from The Office not too long ago that was basically the supervisor had everybody coming in and showing him his their Halloween costume, and he had to either approve it or disapprove it because he wanted to be sure that it was appropriate. But
appropriate.
that's 100% the thing. And then I would also say be upfront and communicate that upfront. Don't assume that people know what you deem to be appropriate and not appropriate, especially if you are in a workplace that typically does uniforms. If you're giving them a little more freedom to dress up, just be sure that you tell them what's going to be acceptable and what's not, so that you're not sending people home, from their shift or whatnot. But
Absolutely.
yeah, and that's also a fun post that you could do on social, showing people's costumes. Maybe you could even do like a poll. Hey, which costume, who had the best costume today? If you respond, you get a $10 gift card, whatever it is. I mean, you can definitely make it a fun thing.
Yes, absolutely. Or you could do like a costume contest. You could ask your customers to come in costume. You could do a costume contest like that. You could ask people to tag you in their fits and their outfits.
You know who does that really well?
Chick-fil-A
for their cow day or whatever. Have you seen this?
Yes.
Yeah, where they'll do
I never remember when it
dressed up as a cow.
Yeah. I would never
and then
do
they'll
it.
give you they give you a free sandwich or something like that. They have something. Right. But that's a way, obviously, people like being able to come in and, if you're able to, I don't know, give them a small treat, that's great. If not, if you just give them a chance for a drawing, that's also fun too.
Yes.
But you could get a lot of people amped up with that.
I love that. Yeah. But, so that's still a great example, though. That's something that's going to take preparation on their ends. So you need to tell them ahead of time.
Yeah, for sure.
Another really great idea when it comes to Halloween, and again, you don't want to do Halloween, you could just do fall. Fall-themed, Halloween-themed, limited edition products. Bath & Body Works does such a good job at this. They have, those scents like for sprays or for soap, stuff like that. They have those ones that they only roll out during Halloween. It's like ghoul something or whatever. Great example. Example. I can't remember what it's called. I know one of them is like something ghoul.
Yeah. Well, and I think they do it for Christmas and for all those, right? They have the limited time scents. I do think Chelsea, have you also seen this in the spa area? Do they do this for spa stuff? Where they have certain scents?
So Brazilian wax, what they do is for each season, they have a different type of wax.
Okay.
And each type of wax is going to relate to the season and problems that your skin may have during that season. So summer is coconut wax. I think fall is honey wax. Winter is chocolate. And spring is tea tree.
Gotcha.
So that's an example of creating scarcity, limited edition, that sort of thing with your products or services.
Yeah, so another really great example of this, my friend Maria that I used to, she was a work colleague of mine years ago. They actually now have a farm out in, I believe it's Indiana. And so it's called Four Leaf Honey Farm. If you guys want to look them up, they're on Facebook. If you want to see a real life example of how this is applicable in a small business. So they do, they're obviously a honey farm. They do beekeeping and all of that. Now, typically they'll do jars of honey and honey sticks. So during Halloween, they were saying, she was promoting during this time, like, hey, those honey sticks are really great. They're nice and sweet for, you know, for kids. But they also went back and they actually made little candies out of it. And so their thing is they put these honey candies into cute little packages that are very Halloweeny. And then on top of it, they're telling the parents it's half the sugar. Okay, so not only is it like local honey, which is great for allergies, and you know this, Chelsea, because you used to do all things allergy related. So great for allergies, but then on top of it, you're giving your children something that's a little healthier, or you're handing out something that's a little healthier because it's got half the sugar in it. It was fabulous the way that they kind of pivoted. They used the same product, they just packaged it slightly differently, and they have a slightly different pitch to it that is going to be intriguing, I think, to parents that are wanting to kind of stay on that little health, you know, track.
Yeah, I love that idea. And that's a great example of them looking at their target audience and saying, you know what, we can make something very specific that's going to work even better. I love that. I do want to say, though, I hate to burst your bubble, honey has no effect on allergies.
Stop. I thought it was local honey because the bees are harvesting from, what do you call it? The local plants.
Bees don't harvest trees. So tree pollen is pollinated by the wind. People are not allergic to flower pollen because it is, it's small. Is it smaller or larger?
Interesting.
The size of the pollen, it does not get into our systems, but the size of tree pollen does get into our systems. And because it is pollinated by the wind, it is more likely to come into our faces. So we have tree allergies. No one has a flower allergy. Or if you do have a flower allergy, it's not going to be from the pollen itself.
So you're telling me that basically when you worked for allergy physicians, or allergists, their thing was they said honey doesn't have an effect on allergies. Wow.
Yes.
Chelsea, you teach me something new every day.
Also, hypoallergenic isn't a real thing for animals.
Yeah, and y'all don't come at her. If you got something to say about that, go talk to the allergist.
Yeah, I am giving you information that I was given by a doctor. Okay, this is what I've been
to write content.
Okay, just saying. If you think it helps your allergies, do whatever you want. I'm just letting you know. I've been told that that is a common myth. Okay. Yes.
You're dropping knowledge.
Thank you. I learn things sometimes and then I share it. So I have a great example of this with
Professor Chelsea.
Professor Chelsea. I love that. Okay. So a great example of this specifically was services. The Winchester Spa here in downtown Somerville does a great job of having limited edition services for each month. So right now they have a bunch of different scents, exfoliants that are available that are specifically Halloween themed. I don't remember what they were. You'll have to look them up. I think one of the scents was like pomegranate, because you know that's kind of like the fruit of the underworld, that sort of thing. So they really went into the Halloween theme while still providing services. So you can still pivot. It doesn't have to be a product. That's my
I'm
point.
laughing because
What?
in one discussion you taught me about allergies and the fruit of the underworld because I did not know pomegranate was
You
the
didn't know
fruit of the
that?
underworld. No.
Yeah, because when Persephone goes to Hades, she's in the underworld. You know, he's trying to get her to eat the pomegranate because if you eat something in the underworld, then you can't leave. So, like, pomegranates, the...
I love you. I love that you teach me all this stuff. I'm
That's
just
the
like,
thing, right?
I
Now
feel
I'm
like I'm just
questioning myself.
I'm going through the world just like do 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 do. Chelsea's like, honey, that's a lie. Honey's good for your allergies. That's a lie. Pomegranate, it's the fruit of the underworld. I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Well,
Okay, so yes, very creative way. You could get as creative as you want with it. And I think that's the good thing is that you can really lean into it. But like Chelsea said, this is what's interesting to me is a lot of times we do equate this to being more of something you could do with products, and we kind of discount the fact that you can do this as well with services. So
yeah, and that's the point that I wanted to make. Don't be afraid to get creative with your services. Like, you can still find a way to make something limited edition or change it up to fit the season.
Right.
It's still an option. You don't have to create a product.
Awesome.
My final point that I want to talk about, and we talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but it is so important to plan this stuff out. Remembering little details is going to help you really execute this well. So, am I going to update my website with this information? Did I actually tell all my staff about this deal? Or did I just decide to do it and then not tell anyone?
That's kind of a big deal.
Exactly. Is there a coupon code? Like, if I'm doing a special or a sale, did I create the coupon code, or is my staff going to have to manually type in the discount every single time? Can all of my staff actually do that? It's remembering those little details that's going to help you execute your plan flawlessly. And that's why we're doing this episode this early in the month, because we want to remind you, go ahead, start making your plan, figure it out. Honestly, start making your plan for November and December as well, for the Christmas season.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't already signed up for our weekly email list, you'll definitely want to do that. Our email last week, I believe, was on that specifically, which was getting ready for the Black Friday, Thanksgiving, Small Business Saturday season, and 5 things that you need to be looking at now in preparation for that. And they were important things as far as kind of what you alluded to with the website. If you have a banner at the top of your website, are you going to be switching out the design to make it a little more festive or to promote whatever deals you have going on? And if you are, you need to be talking to your website administrator now, right? Or you need to have a plan or a alarm set on your, that's the way I operate on my phone, where it says, it'll tell me like 2 days in advance, hey, by the way, you need to get this design up and scheduled, right? So very important. The other part of it too is kind of like, I'm going to equate this to a party. If you were throwing a party at your house, 4th of July, we like having 4th of July out here at my house. You have to give people a heads up ahead of time, right? I can't just assume that people are going to come over if I don't extend the invitation. And likewise, if you're planning to do something fun or creative, or you really think that there's a way for you to get people through your door to buy from you during this time, you kind of need to let them know, right? And especially, let's not discount the fact that this is also busy season, okay? If you don't think that families are out there planning, which Halloween party are we going to go to? Oh, so-and-so is going to go to a trunk or treat. I have to be sure that my kids want to go trick-or-treating on this particular day. It gets pretty jam-packed. And so you kind of have to be sure that you're getting that information out there in a timely manner just so that people can plan ahead and you're not like the third option on the list and instead you're going to be the priority.
Exactly. That's a wonderful point. I do also want to say, when you are creating these ideas, making these plans, all that stuff, it's so important to remember what your goal was with each plan. Are you trying to let people know that you are an option? So like you're going out there in the community, you just want to get your name out there. Do you want to actually sell a product? Are you trying to get rid of this product? Remembering what the goal was of each of your initiatives is going to make sure that you execute it as perfectly as possible. I love that we're coming up with all these ideas. I don't want you to just do something to do something. Make sure that you have a goal in mind and that you're creating an initiative that's going to help you reach that goal.
Yes. And thank you for saying that, because at the end of the day, all of your marketing initiatives should have a goal attached.
Mm-hmm.
Whether, like she said, if it's brand awareness, then that's what it is. And find a way for you to be able to track whether or not your initiative was a success.
Yep.
The last thing you want to do is just do something for the sake of, having your team members dress up and then you're not driving any more sales to your business. You're not doing any of that. If it's executed well, there is a way for you to mesh that fun and, holiday type of theme or whatnot to sales. And ultimately, that's what you're wanting to do.
Exactly. Just wanted to say that.
All right. Well, is that all you have for us, Chelsea, as far as tips for this Halloween? That's a really not good.
That was so bad.
Okay, you do your mwahaha.
Okay. Mwahaha.
Much better. Yeah.
Was it? Thank you. I tried. I really, when it comes to small business stuff, that's all I have. I do want to say, don't be afraid to celebrate Halloween. As someone who loves this stuff year round, I'm living for this right now. I'm having a good time. I dressed up today. Vivian says this is how I always look. That's fine. I'm having a good time. Go ahead and have fun. Go out there and be the best S.O.B you can be during this spooky season.
I love it.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to stop recording.